This is Dan of Vagabond Awake, the YouTube channel for Vagabond Buddha. Today I'm going to show you videos of Kep Cambodia as I discuss why some people may consider it a good, retire cheap, in paradise location. But no need to take notes. Everything I say is in writing. Just click the link and the notes below this YouTube video to get Kep Cambodia, cost of living, livability factors, best area to stay, cheapest travel deals, Kep Cambodia tours, Cambodia cheap rent and food choices, and our best retire cheap in paradise locations in the world. This post describes how to retire early on $1,000 per month in Kep Cambodia. I've created 50 retire early reports worldwide. According to the US government, 21% of retired married people and 43% of retired unmarried people rely on Social Security for 90% of their retirement income. With an average Social Security check of less than $1,400 per month, people are looking for the best place in the world to live that provides the lifestyle they desire. If you're looking for where you can get the biggest bang for your buck, check out our promotion for members only access and start planning your dreams today. Okay, Kep Cambodia, cost of living. If you rented a one-bedroom apartment by the month, once you are on the ground here, you would pay around $300 a month plus $50 to $100 in utilities per month. If you were willing to prepare 2 meals per day at home, you could easily live here starting at around $800 per month, depending on what else you decide to spend money on. If you add some alcohol, a few treats, and some entertainment, you may be able to stay under $1,000 per month. There's a table on the web page, just come take a look. But the cost of living ranges from someone who's like a backpacker type, staying in hostels, up to someone more like myself who has a one-bedroom apartment with a kitchen. Your range would be somewhere between about $500 and $1,100 per month. You can come check that out. This estimated cost of living in the table is for 1 month for one person as a temporary visitor. It only includes rent, 2 meals per day, and local transportation. I usually have oatmeal for breakfast in my room, so I don't count that. For a full understanding of what it would cost you to live here, visit numbeo.com and add any items you spend money on, link provided. Of course, never move anywhere until you have visited first personally to verify the living costs for your lifestyle and needs. I'm not guaranteeing these prices. These are just my notes and estimates from the time of my visit and this post. Your costs will likely be drastically different depending on lifestyle and the time since this post. The above numbers, as I say, are for one person. And there is a free report explaining how the table works on the web page. If you buy anything using our links, such as flights, tours, or accommodation, you'll pay nothing extra, but we'll earn a small commission. Your kindness will encourage us to keep making these travel guides and videos. Okay, Kep livability factors. Here are my Kep livability factors. Kep walkability, low. Kep has a weird layout that ruins its walkability. You see, I would like to live somewhere that's walkable. I don't really like getting in a car every day. You could live in one of the resort areas shown on the map here. Because they're so cheap. Ours was $10 per night. But then you wouldn't have a kitchen, and the restaurants around the resorts are all at tourist prices. Although the restaurant in our accommodations was our favorite food in town and was only about 25% more expensive than local food restaurants, it's better to live with the locals, as is shown on the map, where you could have a kitchen and you could walk to the Kep market. But if you live with the locals, which I prefer, you would be about 3.5 kilometers from the beach, which is too far to walk. So you would need to get a bike or a scooter if you decide to live in Kep. And that's why I've marked it walkability of Kep as low. Kep internet, medium. We had a few issues with internet when we were in Kep. but it was mostly based upon how far our room was from the router in our hotel. I recommend that you buy a 4G cell card for $1 and add 20 gigabyte of data for $2 to your Android. That worked great as a hotspot for us when too many people jumped on the router or we were too far from the router. This was the key to working all over Cambodia. When we were sharing routers and needed to control our bandwidth better, we just turned on the Android and used it as a hotspot. If you lived here, you would have your own router presumably in your apartment, so it shouldn't be an issue. Okay, food, medium. 𝐶EP has a population of about 36,000 people. As a fishing village with limited tourism, there's not much money outside the tourist resorts chasing diverse food tastes. Unless you eat at the expensive tourist resorts or love to cook at home, there'll be very limited diversity in your diet. That's why I ranked it medium. Weather, high. I personally like this weather. Average highs for days range seasonally from a low of 84 Fahrenheit, which is 29 Celsius in January, to a high of 90 Fahrenheit, which is 32 Celsius in May. Average lows at nights range seasonally from a low of 75 Fahrenheit to 24 Celsius in January, to a high of 82 Fahrenheit or 28 Celsius in May. And of course, those lows are at night. The rainy season is June through October, when about 12 inches or 300 millimeters of rain fall per month. Things to do. Medium, if you're an ocean lover, low otherwise. Fishing, snorkeling, bike riding, motorcycles, yoga, scuba diving, sailing, wave runners, mountain biking, running in the national park, and a 20-minute boat ride to Rabbit Island. Social considerations. There's not much going on in 𝐶EP. You better be comfortable with peace and quiet. You may be able to make a friend or two along the way. If you're a hermit or you bring a friend with you, you may be okay. For cocktails, check out the sailing club at happy hour, except on weekends. Expats, medium. There are more expats in nearby Kampot, which is 40 minutes northwest from 𝐶EP. There's an expat Facebook page where you can go to ask questions about 𝐶EP that I have not answered here. Link provided. Personally, I prefer to live in Kampot and visit 𝐶EP whenever I had the mood to see the beach. Medical, low. There's a hospital in nearby Kampot. Depending on what treatment is required, they may just stabilize you and transfer you to one of the two major hospitals in Phnom Penh. Links provided. Of course, you could also seek treatment in Vietnam or Bangkok, which are a short flight away. Visa requirements. For your exploratory visit to Cambodia, you can obtain a visa upon arrival at the international airports in Phnom Penh and Siem Reap. If you use the e-visa program, it can only be used for entry through these two airports. If you intend to arrive through one of the land border crossings, like we did from Vietnam, the e-visa will not be accepted. At the land border crossings, you'll need to fill out the forms again. In either case, bring the passport photo with you to immigration. There are 10 countries that must get a visa before coming to Cambodia, link provided. The tourist visa is $30 and the 30-day period can be extended for an additional 30 days for an extra $50. If you are planning on staying longer than 60 days, then get an ordinary visa from the start. If you're 55 or older and no longer working, I suggest getting a retirement visa or an 𝐸R visa for 6 or 12 months. The 6 or 12-month 𝐸R visa is multi-entry. I haven't obtained the 𝐸R visa myself yet, but I was told the requirements are minimal compared to other countries in Southeast Asia. There are also student visas, employment visas, and business visas, link provided. Real estate. You should not buy real estate in Cambodia. If someone recommends that you buy in Cambodia, they probably have a conflict of interest with you. Just lease month to month. The rents are cheap and you can just hand the keys back to the landlord when you leave. If you want to own real estate, Buy in a more economically safe country, US or Europe, and live off the rents in a cheap country like Cambodia. Hire a property manager to manage your real estate when you're out of the country. Banking. Leave your money in your home country bank and take money out as needed at ATMs. When you are in a foreign country, it's much easier to get into a mess than to get out of a one. If you want to store money outside your home country, don't put it in a developing country bank. Put it somewhere safe, like Switzerland or any of the other accepted international locations. Pollution. There are single-use plastic bags on the ground in Cambodia, like most places in Southeast Asia. If you are older, you may remember when your home country had litter in public places. Some areas are cleaner than others now, but almost nowhere is perfect anymore, other than maybe Japan and a few other countries. Don't swim in the ocean near where large rivers from populated areas flow into the sea in Southeast Asia. The government in Cambodia does not monitor water pollution to any significant degree. Also, don't swim in the ocean near large cities for the same reason. The air quality in Kep is generally moderate. Okay, Kep overall desirability score, medium if you like small fishing villages on the ocean, low otherwise. Personally, I prefer more food choices and more cultural opportunities around me. If I moved to this area of Cambodia, I would live in Kampot or Siem Reap, and I would visit Kep when I wanted to spend time near the ocean. Kampot is 40 minutes away. You can get a bus for $3 to and from Kampot from Kep. If you'd like to learn how to fire your boss and live in paradise for peanuts, grab a free copy of my ebook, How to Fire Your Boss and Travel the World. Link provided. Okay, best area to stay in Kep. I talked about the best area to stay above in the Kep livability factors in the walkability paragraph. Read that first and then consider my suggestions of where to stay here. If you're good riding a scooter, you can live almost anywhere in Kep and get anywhere else in Kep in about 10 minutes. There's a link here for a hostel. It's a great location and ratings. On the day I searched, it was $6 per night. Okay, then there's a link to where we stayed. It was older, but clean and cheap, plus a great restaurant with decent prices on the top floor. See the cost of living video below for a video of the inside of our room. And then there's a step up here, an amazing place for about $30 per night on the night we searched. And it has a 9.6 ranking and it's in a great area. So some great choices for you. Airbnb, if we return for a month, we would want a kitchen. At the time of this writing, we would make offers in the neighborhood of this Airbnb apartment for around $30 per night for a 30-day rental. If you're new to Airbnb, use the link provided here at checkout to get a big discount. Stay in an Airbnb for a month to see whether or not you could retire early on $1,000 US per month in Kep Cambodia. How to get to Kep Cambodia. We almost always get our cheapest flights on Skyscanner, link provided. They have a web crawler that's constantly looking for the cheapest prices all over the world. After about 12 days in Phu Quoc, Vietnam, we crossed over into Cambodia to continue our one-year retirement investigation tour of Southeast Asia. In Phu Quoc, if you're coming from there, you can buy your transfer to anywhere in Cambodia from John's Tours in Phu Quoc, link provided. Our transfer included a ferry to the mainland, a minivan to the Cambodian border, and a bus from the border in Cambodia to our hotel in Kep. The transfer was $18 per person. You can also fly into Phnom Penh and take a bus to Kep. Links provided. Okay, Kep Cambodia, things to do. Here are the top 8 things to do in Kep. There's a video here. Come watch the video, and if it looks fun, there's also a Google map that you can click. It's interactive. You can add and remove places, the ones that didn't look good, and you'll have an interactive Google map to go on your must-see places in Kep. Okay, Kep Cambodia cheap rent and food prices. There's a list here of the restaurants that we're recommending. Just come to the web page and click them and go check them out. Final thoughts. If you're interested in the subject of present moment awareness, my new videos on that subject are posted here, link provided. Please subscribe to Vagabond Buddha or our YouTube channel to watch us move around the world. 65 countries so far. To find out our members only prices and benefits, watch the video on the webpage about that. This is Dan of Vagabond Buddha. Thank you for your interest in our retire early on 1,000 USD a month in Kep Cambodia. The world is your home. What time will you be home for dinner? This is Dan of Vagabond 𝐻𝐻, and if you're enjoying this video, could you please subscribe, like it, comment? Any of those things would help us in the search rankings and improve our business, so I can get enough money together to buy her a new pair of shoes. She has holes in the bottom of her shoes.
No, I don't.
Please help us. And I write retired cheap reports all over the world. To come to Vagabond Buddha and check it out. If you subscribe to our membership, then I'll be able to afford to buy Chung Hoi a new dress once a year, maybe.
Yes, once a year.